Welcome. I'm Meredith, and this is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot, all about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. So today I thought I'd just do a quick fun video about how I work with the Hex Cores. So if you didn't see my Botanical Beasts unboxing, so this is the mini version of the Oracle deck. I also have the standard, and with it I got these really neat Hex Cores. So I've been working with these a good bit, and I'm having so much fun. I thought I would share and kind of see what you think. So I did do a spread earlier for myself, and I took pictures, and I'm going to try to insert them right about now. I'm not sure if I can keep the audio going while the pictures are shown, so if there's a pause, I couldn't figure that out. But it'll be pretty brief. So if you want to dig deeper, look a little harder at them, you can just pause it. So yeah. So this is the complete spread that I did. Here's one of the Hex Cores. Here's another Hex Core. And here's the third. So I thought I'd just kind of take you through my process, kind of see what you think. So we are on my bed, because the way I've been using them is a big spread. So yeah, we need the room. I tried like 3 times to do it from my desk, and it's just not big enough. So I started with the idea that I was going to use the Vanessa Tarot with it. So this is by Leonard Narciso. So I just got this deck really the other day, and I essentially got it just because I love the artist. Now the artwork is very different from my standard aesthetic, and I wasn't sure that I would really like this deck, but actually I do. I really do. So I'm enjoying working with it. I guess I'm enjoying a lot of reversals, but anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, so I started off just with the idea that I was going to use this deck with the Hex Cores. Oh, and I should say that the Hex Cores and the Botanical Beasts Oracle are by Jessica Feinberg. And I apologize if I hit this. I couldn't figure out a good way to film it, so it's super awkward. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, but so the first thing I did, now this is for me, so I just kind of pulled out a few different cards that sparked an interest for me. And, what I'm thinking is for clients, or, if you're just reading for someone else, it doesn't matter. This is a great way if, if somebody comes to you and they say, I'll do a reading, I don't need anything specific, there's nothing going on. You might just kind of shuffle these through and see what comes up, and then kind of take it to them and say, here, this is great. Are you interested in delving into maybe the elemental aspects of yourself and things like that? If they say no, see, I hate this thing. You could just put it back in, reshuffle, maybe pull something else, So that's my idea. And I feel like this is a great way to get clients to really think about why they're here, get them to kind of open up, and just kind of make sure that you're on the path that's appropriate for them. But let's just for this, because I just want to kind of show you how how I have been using them. So basically, I pulled 3 cards, and for me, I just pulled them at random. Again, I did separate some out. Like there's like a love path one, wasn't of interest to me, so I pulled it out. And then I just pulled. So then from there, so here we have life events. Well, it's the eclipse, stars, and choices. So then I really just kind of went with the card that I felt like using first. I mean, it doesn't really matter. But for me, I feel like Revelations is a good place to start. I'm going to move it over here because we are going to take up a lot of space. So, now I'm not doing a real reading, but basically, I just kind of picked a starting point, and really, you could start anywhere. So we have Revelations, freedom or power, messages, life events, self, and others. So for this, I think we'll just start up at the top with Revelations. So, I just focus on, what is that revelation, that thing that maybe it's come up already, maybe it needs to come up, right? That thing that really needs to be kind of underlined, highlighted, what's that thing? So it doesn't matter. I don't even know why I'm shuffling, because it's not like a real reading. Can you see that? Sort of. Okay, so that's the Hierophant. Again, doesn't matter. But then from there, freedom or power, right? So with regard now, because I pulled the Hierophant, with regard to that. So, what do they need to draw on to, and it depends on how the Hierophant feels in that moment. Maybe this is telling them to, maybe it's related to tradition or dogma. Maybe it's related to, so here we have the King of Wands. It doesn't matter what it is for this. But the idea is there's that connection, right? So then, messages. What's that message? And it could be a message from like a spirit guide. If the person isn't, if they're not into that, if they don't, believe in that, that's fine. Maybe it's a message from their inner self, their higher self, their unconscious mind, whatever it is, right? But it's a message. It's something that they need to know about. It's something they need to pay attention to. And so now we have the Lovers. Okay. So then life events, right? What's that life event that maybe it's coming up, maybe it already passed, but it's something that's significant for them. It's something that's going to, the effects of it are going to kind of ripple forward, right? Moving forward with them. Because if it was done and over, like really over, we wouldn't need to worry about it. So here we have the Devil. Okay. And then that self. What's the thing about the self that, and again, to me, this is just how I'm doing it, is I want to relate it all back. Okay. So, considering the previous cards, and again, I could have started with self, right? But considering the previous cards, what's that aspect of self? Maybe that part that needs to come to light. Maybe it's that part that needs to grow stronger. And now we have Justice. And then we have others. So, those others who are influencing or impacting who we are and where we are. It could be a specific person. It could be a type of person. It could be a group, right? It could be part of society, a culture, a subculture, whatever it is. What's that influence, though, right? Because it's got to be an influence or it wouldn't be here. It wouldn't matter. So how are others influencing you? And it could be your own internal influence that's that's kind of skewing things, right? Your perception of others. So here we have the High Priestess. All right. So that's the first hex core. So now what I did is I took a drink and then I kind of looked at these compared to this hex core, right? So first, for stars, we have the future, blessing, messages, the past, protection, shooting star, and then this is choices. It's just key information, general advice, and options, okay? So for this one, we have a messages here, so I want to tie them together. And again, this is just my own way I'm doing it. So now, originally I thought I was just going to use that same deck, but and I may in other readings, but for the reading that I'm referencing, it just felt like I needed a different deck. Like I needed the complete deck, for all of those potential possibilities. Okay, so the next deck that I'm using is the Ashera Tarot by Sarah Wheatley. And so what do we have? So we have blessings, the future, shooting star, protection, and the past. So let's start with the past. What's that thing that's, still kind of holding you on, dragging you down? And we have the Ten of Swords. And now moving on with that, we have protection. So maybe what do you need to protect yourself from that? From that ending, and also the new beginning, because of course there's always a new beginning with every ending. So what do you need to move forward in a healthier, safer way, in a happier way, in a way that is better for you? And we have the Ace of Discs. And then shooting star. Now shooting star, I should say, so with each hex core set, you get a little card that gives you information about it. So I think stars, probably from Celestial. Yes. So this is the only information that you get, really. So it says, use on starry nights or when you want to invite the magic of your ancestors into your life. Look for their insights about the past and the future. See what they are protecting you from, their messages for you, and their blessings. The shooting star card, it does say, will tell you of unexpected, surprising events, wishes, or dreams that you need to know about. So that's fabulous. Okay. So what's that thing? That thing that, you don't see coming, but it's a thing that you need to know about. And so here we have the Three of Wands. Okay. And now the future. And understand that, so many times I see people talking about the future with regard to tarot, and they seem to think that it's like an either or, like either the tarot is somehow dictating your future, which of course it is not, or you have like freedom to create any future you want, which of course is the truth. But to me, I mean, this is just my thing, but to me the tarot is like a snapshot. Right? Like imagine there's a boy with a hot dog standing in front of a pool, and you take a picture of that, right? And now looking at that picture, you might say, yeah, you know what's going to happen? He's going to take a bite of that hot dog. That's the next logical thing that's going to happen. But the reality is maybe a split second after you snap that picture, another kid raced up and pushed him into the pool, and the hot dog went flying into the mud, right? So it's just a snapshot in time based on the way things are currently positioned. But sometimes even the smallest of things can affect great change. So I think that's really important to understand when you move into future. Okay? So now we'll get off my soapbox and just for the future. So what does the future look like at this moment in time, in this snapshot? So here we have the Queen of Cups. And then blessing. What blessing do you carry? What's something that your ancestors, that the universe, that maybe even yourself, what have you been blessed with? That thing that's so special that, we all have those things. And sometimes it can be hard to recognize them. Sometimes you might feel like, oh, everybody has this or can do this or whatever. And the reality is that's not the case. And here we have the Nine of Wands. Now, when we get to the messages side, I've handled this two ways. Sometimes I feel like this card, yes, this is right with this hex core as well as that one. Sometimes I don't feel that way, and I might pull another card. So, and this isn't a real reading, but yeah, I like that. I like that with that. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to pull another card. But I absolutely could. You can do whatever you want, right? That is my motto. Okay. So next, we have this hex core about choices. Now, you know what I kind of want to do? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to. All right, I'm going to have to move these a little bit because I'm going to show you. Is that still? Yeah, it's good enough. I'm going to show you how I feel these tie in. Hopefully, if I can get them to fit. So I'm gonna. So I would like to put it down here, but well, all right. That's kind of at the top. So I'm not gonna put it quite like that. But what I am gonna do is just. So this is the future here, right? So to me, that's an option. So, this is a mess. See, this is a problem, right? It just takes up. Can you see that all? Not really, but maybe a little bit. It takes up a lot of space, which, ordinary. Like if I was just doing this on my own, wouldn't matter because I would be a lot more spread out. But to try to capture it on film, like I will tell you, if I were to use the hex cores like for a Zoom reading, I would only use one just because I just don't have that space. You know what? This guy's just going to go there for now because I really like this for options. Okay. So now we're going to take the Botanical Tarot, and this is by Stasia Burrington. Now for this one, I probably wouldn't start on the options. I would start either with key information or general advice. So for this, I'm just going to start with key information. So what's that thing that this person, right, because I'm doing it for, say a client, needs to know, right? Because obviously there's a choice coming up, right? They have these options. Maybe it's already here, but there's something really pertinent that's going to help them to make that choice that's right for them. And I just want to know what that might be. So here we have Two of Wands, okay? And then maybe no, let's do options next, right? So we know one option, right? This is one option because it showed up as the future, so it's got to be an option. So what's another option that they have? And here we have the Six of Pentacles. So now there's an overlap that wouldn't be there if I wasn't trying to fit it on the camera. But, and again, now we have 2 more options still. So what's another option? What's another place that they can focus their energy, another choice that they can make to go in a different way? Here we have the 7 of Cups. And one more. Whoa. Now we have the Tower. Oh, I love the Tower. And now that advice, right? So we have these different options. We have 6 of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, 7 of Cups, and the Tower. It's interesting, 2 of the choices are cups, but it's not a real reading, so I'm not going to go there. But so what's that advice? That advice to help the person make this choice. And we have the Star. Okay. So now you might think we're done. We're not done. It's so messy. And you know what? Just to help clarify what I'm doing, I am going to move this over because it is so messy. But just remember that this goes there too. All right. So now, the next thing I did was to pull in the Botanical Beasts. So for me, I mean, and you know, certainly you could use any oracle, but it just makes sense to use it with the Hex Cores. So then really that's where my focus went for the drawing the cards. It went to each of the Hex Cores. So for the first one, for that eclipse, looking at this reading, just kind of in and of itself, not the connection yet, but just in here, what's that thing that we need to know, right? What's that? Could be like a wrap up. It could be some more help. It could be a piece of advice, you know, especially depending on the reading, you know. So just what's that one card to really kind of pull stuff in. So here we have Daffodil, Beginnings and Rebirth, which I think is so perfect for there, even though it's not real reading. I have to keep reminding myself. All right, so then next we're going to focus on that stars and this specific reading, including this card, for that, right? What's that wrap-up card? What's that piece of advice? What's that thing that we need just for this area, right? So here we have Evening Primrose, fickleness and changeability. Was that haunting? Oh man, my eyes. I'm really not that old, but I can't. I think it's not haunting though, because there's no hunting. It's gotta be hunting, right? I think so. Anyway, that's what we got there. Then I moved to this one, right? These choices. What do we have? What do we have to help make that choice? Okay, we have some advice for the star. We have that key information with the 2 of Wands, but what else could we get just to help this person making the choice? So here we have Belladonna, Visions and Oracle. So then, this is as far as I went in the reading that I hopefully am able to show you in pictures. But you know what you could do? What you could do is pull out trusty old Roots and Wings. Again, you know, I'm kind of going for size. I have used larger cards with these and they work out nicely. You just need more room. So for filming, that was not going to happen. But, and again, we could kind of pull, and actually, you know what I like is 2 for each. Just if we needed a little something extra, right? It just, I love the symmetry of it, and I love 3s. So I just feel like that's a great way to go. Now, you could also, like, say you did this, right? And you're looking at, and the person, you know, I'm assuming you have time, whatever. And the person decides, the tower. The tower is a little bit scary, but it's interesting too, right? Maybe I want to explore that path. So you might look through the hex cores. I love that, the life path one. So I mean, potentially, you could kind of put that. Put that here, right? Imagine if you put that. So remember, the tower is an option, okay? So what if you put that with where you stand and connect that there, which of course you can't see, but just imagine you put it there, and then you could dig deeper into it. So say, okay, assuming this is your choice, assuming this is what you choose, how would that look? How would that look to your life path, to your destiny, to the future that you're creating? So I mean, potentially, you could use a bazillion of these, but you may be limited in terms of space. But of course, you can kind of, once you go through one hex core, you could move it out of the way if you needed to. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I have probably babbled on long enough, but I'm just really enjoying it, and I just see so many possibilities with these cards that I wanted to share it with you. So let me know if this was of any interest. If if you have these cards, how are you using them? Are you thinking about getting them? What interests you about them? What maybe doesn't interest you about them? So let me know what you think, because I value your thoughts, and I'm always looking for new perspectives. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell so you get alerted when I post a new video. So until next time, just have a wonderful day. Be wonderful to yourself, because you deserve it. You deserve the best, only the best. And that is my wish for you.